Hello, 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 beautiful people. So I am out here on the cliff today. Yes, we are still running our repatriation workshop classes, sharing with people the opportunities for moving to Africa, the kind of businesses that they want to get involved in. And I am just sitting out here and look at that beach. That black thing that you could see at the shoreline, that is SeaMoss. That is SeaMoss that we have coming to our shores. And so we have set up a company, a legal company, the East Africa Seaweed Company, that provides investors the opportunity to live and work in Tanzania. So we have been actively working with and looking for private investors looking to get involved in the sea moss industry. What we need as a company, as the exporter and the processors of sea moss, is partners for distribution, people who are looking to get involved with the sea moss, to purchase the sea moss by bulk, containerize the sea moss, get warehousing, help us to work with those logistics in the West so that we can export our high quality sea moss from mainland Tanzania and Zanzibar to the rest of the world. So we have a quality product. We have the facilities to store our product. We have the farmers that work with us. We have so many things that are beneficial. And, as you can see, we collect one of the best sea moss from mainland Tanzania. This particular species, if you go back, I'm going to try to put the link to that previous video when I was speaking to the president of Zanzibar, talking about all of the valuable benefits of the sea moss that we collect wild. We also have the gel making species that we produce. So we make gels, jams, drinks, and smoothies that we distribute through our restaurant in Masaki. And, we are looking for partners to help us to take our product line to the next level, right? Which means distribution, which means processing, which means facilities in order to process properly. So those are some of the things that I wanted to talk to people about this morning. But I wanted to share this beautiful video with you. I know it's very early where you are, but still, it is just a beautiful treat to be able to sit here and watch this sea moss come to shore. This sea moss has been proven against HeLa cell lines, Klebsiella, pneumonia, Jurgut, lymphomas. It is a highly potent sea moss, anti-carcinogenic sea moss, and it is being used in medicines in India widely. But because it's from Africa, not a lot of people know about it, and not a lot of people have the knowledge about what its uses are. But like I said, I set up a company, the East Africa Seaweed Company. We're registered in Tanzania. We are certified by the TBS, the Tanzania Bureau of Standards. That's one. And also we are certified by the Tanzanian Investment Center. We have all the legal documentation and the paperwork to attract and retain investors who are looking to come to Tanzania and work in the seaweed industry, in the seaweed business. But I am looking for, real investors, people who are looking to actually work within the sea moss industry, people who are looking to move to Tanzania to do business in the sea moss industry. Or if you are still overseas, if you're in the States, we're looking for partners to help us with the distribution. We have the channels by which we have the the warehousing and the facilities in order to execute that. We have a contracted partner. And so we are actively looking for people to help us share our containers for our shipping. And so we're looking for people who are the up value, who can help with the marketing and the distribution of the SeaMoss in the United States, in Canada, in the United Kingdom, in the Scandinavian countries. SeaMoss is very expensive and highly desirable in the Scandinavian countries. And so, you know, we're looking for people who can take what we have here and what we've done here and take those things seriously, and take those things and run with it. And people who are coming from a business mindset, who have been in business, who have an understanding of business and where they fit in into the wheel. And you know, I've been saying this for over a year, that we are actively looking for partners who understand business. It's one thing for someone to say, okay, I want to invest, but is not don't doesn't come from a business background and understand like all that's entailed in marketing and development and preparation, and you know, working within certain markets, like working within an African market. So it's a very what's the word? It's a very difficult thing to find the right investors who understand where we're coming from. So, you know, I'm actively looking for people who are business oriented. Do you see that in the background, that white thing in the background? That is Budia Island, just across the bay over there. And then there is a boat. Is my head in the way of the boat? That, yeah. So there is a boat also on the water, and there is an island. The boat is going to go by in a minute if I keep it just like this. But yeah, this is the beach in front of the Exodus house. I'm not somewhere else. This is the house that I built for the repatriation community. I built myself with my own resources so that people would have a place to go. It has served for those who are looking to get involved in the SeaMoss business. People come through here, they come with their empty suitcases, they fill up their suitcases with the SeaMoss to alleviate the cost of shipping and things like that. So, you know, it was just very fortuitous for me to have put my energy and my investments behind this project, and then to discover the SeaMoss coming to shore. So, I think you can see the boat now. Let me try to move out the way. Can you see the boat? I think you should be able to see the boat. So if you see two things, and there's one on the left and one on the right. But yeah, there is a boat also on the water. That's the ferry that goes to and from Zanzibar that sails right by this house. So this spot is a very great spot. If I wanted to put a restaurant or a juice bar or something out here, it has all of the potential to be something, you know, to do something great with that. But anyway, like I was saying, I'm looking for people to look at the work that I've done and help to scale that up. So I have a range of products that I've developed with the SeaMoss, and I have the facility and the outlet to distribute those products through. But at the same time, it took a lot of work out of me to get there. It took a lot of work out of me to prepare products, to make the sauces, the drinks, the smoothies, the jams, the gels, the body scrubs, the things that I have done with the SeaMoss. It took a lot. And in this year of 2023, that I have put in so much work that there are other things, the things that were needed to scale up. I thought I would get an investor. I thought I would get a grant. I thought I would get a loan. And I just kept working on developing those products and the distribution point, which is the restaurant, that I had to step off of those things in order to stay the course of the product development and also the distribution point, which is the restaurant where people could come and order their drinks and their juices and their jams. And because I didn't get the grant and I didn't get the loan and I didn't get the support that I needed, because I'm just one person out here, that a lot of other things have fallen to the side. And where I could be, I am not, because I was focused on growing what we had. Because where the market is now in SeaMoss, it's not in it's not in, just the dried product. The market is now in processed goods. And so when I made money, that went to purchasing materials to produce those processed goods, right? And let's say, for example, we make a guava SeaMoss drink. To make that guava SeaMoss drink, I had to purchase guava in bulk when it was in season and process that and freeze them so that I would have it so that I could mix it with the SeaMoss drink, right? And that's resource, that's money. I make there's so many other things that I make that I would have to get the product to make those things happen. And then the energy behind pushing that product out the door, the marketing of the product. So after the product is conceived and developed and processed and then pushed through the door, it also requires marketing to get it to where it needs to be. And it requires paperwork and government documentation and all of these things. And I did that by myself. I did that by myself. And then because the facility in Masaki was so, big and beautiful, it couldn't feed itself just by juices. So I had to be cooking and doing everything. And I did that myself as well, making all the rubs for the jerk chicken and all of the sauces for the jerk sauce and all of the, and all the cooking and the oxtail and the curry goat, and then filming that and putting it on social media to get the interest for people to come and purchase these things. And I was doing that by myself. I had kitchen help. And, so my labor charge at the end of every month, I have 15 people that I have to pay to do those things. So it's not to say that I did not make any money, but it went back out into development. And so where the industry is in SeaMoss is in the process and finished good. And so I need people who are business minded to understand what I have put in and where I am now on the side of the mountain and where we can go to help us to get up the mountain. But as a foreigner, again, in Tanzania, which is not very business friendly, as the whole world should know by now, as a foreigner, I don't have access to loans. And the grant companies, they're saying that they want 100% to African-owned businesses. USAID said that to me after stringing me on for over a year. So I'm looking for the people who want to come and see what I've done, make a booking at the Exodus House, come and sample the products that I've made, come and look at the facilities that I've built, come and look at all that I've done, I cannot do it all myself. I ended up in the hospital because of stress. I was vomiting blood, and I ended up in the hospital. When they did the endoscopy, they found that I had lacerations on the inside of my stomach. And I have a 7-year-old child. I can't afford to come here and work myself to death. So I am looking for partners who have emotional intelligence, who have business experience, who have knowledge of products and packaged products and processed goods, who are able to make decisions based on what they have been presented with rather than what they think should be, but rather than the reality of what is. And I will tell you that I have done a tremendous amount of work with very, very little. But where I am now, the pace of work that I had to upkeep, or keep up rather, to produce those things, I am not physically able. My body is not processing stress well enough to keep burning the candle at both ends. So I'm looking to take on partners. We have a registered company in Tanzania. To do that in Tanzania as a foreigner is no joke. It's not like America where you go online and register a company. Okay, we have all our tax compliance documentation. We have we are certified by the Tanzanian Investment Center, where you need to have a minimum of $500,000 US just to get that certificate. Through that certificate, we're able to have our export license. We have our export license. Through that export license, we have the opportunity to ship and develop. So knowing what I know about the value chain, is I start working with the farmers in the remote coastal districts in order to get them fair trade for their SeaMoss and the best quality SeaMoss to the end consumer. But again, this is one human being, and I had very little to work with. We had people who said that they would invest X amount, and they ended up investing 30,000 less than what they said they would. And I had to put myself in debt in order to pick up the slack. I had to put myself in positions that I have never been in before. And meanwhile, I still have labor charges and I still have expenses. And so I need people who have the spirit of support instead of the spirit of trying to be like a vulture to see what they can pick at. I am looking for people who have business in their background. Even if you have never owned a business yourself, that you have done enough research to understand and to have get a comprehension of the overall work and what I've done and where we can go and where we can be. So I am again showing you that I have SeaMoss coming to my beach. Okay, this is one of the cleanest beaches in Dar es Salaam. That island that you see over there, all the way over there, that little pit, that little piece of, I don't know if I can enlarge the screen, but all the way over there, that little dot of white, we're in the Dar es Salaam Marine Reserve. Okay, meaning that there are certain things that simply can't happen. There's no raw sewage being dumped here. There is no excessive fishing. There is, it's just a very beautiful and clean environment. And I have a special license to collect the SeaMoss from the beach. So, I'm looking for partners, and I'm looking for people who are looking to repatriate. I'm looking for people who are looking to repatriate and work with our company, right? As I said, our company has the right to provide the residency. Our company has the right to provide opportunities. And, I can only do so much on my own. I think that I've built this house on my own. I built the company on my own. I built the products on my own. All of the things that needs to go into creating a real tangible business in Africa, in Tanzania. I have proven that I can do that. And I have proven that I'm a trustworthy person, that I'm able to use funds that were sent to me to execute the jobs that I said I would do. So, yeah, yeah. So, this is the thing I want a lot of people to be careful of. Not everyone that you see in Tanzania or on YouTube actually has a company in Tanzania. They actually have business in Tanzania. They actually have things that they're certified to do business with the government and with the industries that they're talking about. So people need to be mindful of all the things that they see on YouTube and use that as a litmus test as, oh, this is like how it is on YouTube, or this is how it is in Tanzania. What you see on YouTube is not necessarily what you see as the truth. And a lot of people who you see on YouTube don't have any documents or any paperwork. And a lot of people you see doing business don't have any papers, period. And they know that. Okay? And this is why they can do certain things where I am struggling because I'm doing things the legal way. Okay, and so if you're going to go all the way, take up yourself and pack your suitcase and come all the way to Africa, for people who have never been through the process, they've never registered a company, they have no government taxpayer's ID number, they have never gone through the process of getting certified by the Tanzanian Investment Center, they've never gone through the process of getting their residency or their work permit, they've never gone through the process of setting up a company, they've never gone through the process of opening a store, they've never gone through the process of getting all the paperwork that they need from all of the governing bodies, they've never gone through the process of applying for a grant, they've never gone through the process of applying for a bank loan, they've never gone through the process of anything, but will advertise to you to come. And then when you come looking for that $200-300 rent that they keep talking about, only to find out it's a fiction, because you're going to end up spending more money looking for that $200-300 a month rent, and you're going to end up spending more money in transportation to go to some hole that somebody's telling you that you can get for cheap, right? So you have to be very careful and discerning. If people are not talking about or showing you their paperwork or showing you the work that they have done, but talking and talking about what they want to do without actually ever doing anything, raising money but never actually raising a building or raising a structure, or actually putting that money to work for the benefit of the diaspora or the other people, you have to be very conscious about who you're taking your knowledge and your information from. Because I know a lot of people out there in the West, a lot of people who are out there don't necessarily have the realization or the comprehension or the understanding. They want to be led by the fantasy of YouTube. They want to be led by the images that they see. But when they get here, the reality of things are not necessarily as they portray, right? I have been challenged, and I speak on my challenges. I have been challenged with my health, and I've been upfront and straightforward about what I have gone through. I have been challenged with the government, with the paperwork, and I speak on those things. I have been challenged trying to get a space in the airport. I speak on that. I've been challenged trying to get a space to do business in the shopping mall. I speak on that. I don't paint everything as all a rosy picture for everyone. I have the factual data and the information and the experience Okay, it's one thing when people say what they want to do and they don't do it, and that's the difference between myself and someone else. Is I think it, I say it, I do it. And for people who have invested or who have supported the company and saying, well, Renee said she wants to do this, I've done it. But the thing is, I am challenged and I'm just one person. And I think I've done an incredible amount by myself. And I need more of a strength and power of people who recognize that this is an industry that we can take control of. We can do the distribution, the processing, we could do it all together. Okay. And we have to let go of that me, me, me thinking. Because the way how this company is structured, if there are more people who are focused on us as a people, there could be more of us here working, developing, and processing the company. Okay? But other people don't think like I do. So I am at a crossroads at this point. I am not going to work myself into the ground so people can say, oh, she was a good woman. No, I need to have my life intact. I am not going to put myself in any further compromising situations where I have to decide between my company, my business, and my health. So if I don't get the support that I need to move forward, I can just go back to what I was always doing. Just rent out the house, do the commercials, do the events, do the parties like I did. I've ran commercials for Voda. We've ran commercials for Tigo. We've ran weddings here. I can just go back to doing the lowest energy effort that I possibly can in order to preserve my life. Okay? But if people don't see what I've done as valuable to work with and build on it, then what else can I do? It's really out of my hands. I am just one person. So this is your wake up call. If you're looking to come to the repatriation seminars that I'm hosting, this is my email address. I'm hosting them at 11 a.m. Eastern, okay? Not Tanzania time, Eastern time. So this is my email address, okay? I'm looking for distribution partners. Let me say ExodusAfrica1@gmail.com. Right. So I'm looking for distribution partners. I'm looking for people to take the SeaMoss, to take the products, or look at what I have done here to say, okay, we will help to support you to get us as a group to where we need to be. Okay? Because it's one thing when people keep looking and think, well, I want to go to Africa, but what am I gonna do? Oh well, what's there to do in Africa? Or I don't, that's the thing that confuses me, is people want to go to Africa, but they don't necessarily have the tools or the skills or the experience, and they don't really necessarily want to get behind the people who have those things either. So um, we complain about having representation on the continent. We complain about having representation at the African Union. We complain that we don't have anything, but we're not willing to come together as a people. Okay? Y'all have watched me work for 3 whole years, and I've worked myself silly. I am not in the position to continue down the path of which I have led myself. I have to take a step back and work with people who understand what I've done and how we can do that. Again, we have SeaMoss products. We have gels, jams, smoothies. I make skincare products. I make a variety of things. Everything that I make requires packaging. You can't just make something and put it has to go somewhere. So I had to invest in the packaging. It requires certain kind of ingredients to go into those things to keep the shelf life. I had to invest in that. It requires certain kind of natural materials to go into that packaging, to go into that products. For like I was talking about the guava, I had to invest in that, you know, and there's so many different aspects. Is that a jet ski? Jet skiing out here. Where y'all come from with a jet ski? Can you see it? Yep. Wow. I've never, oh, maybe they came from India. Yeah, so there's somebody out here jet skiing. So anyway, I have a variety of things to do. Like I said, I need people who are business minded, who understand business. Everything that I just talked about in and of itself is a separate opportunity, okay? That I'm able to get the materials while they are in season and process them and store them. That is an opportunity. There are so many things that I have done with just myself. Can you imagine if I had the financial and support and the labor support to go behind me, to hire the people that I needed, to lease the land and lease the space that I need, to do the processing for the SeaMoss? Can you imagine if I had those things? Where would we be? So I am taking a step back. Okay, I'm not stepping out. I'm stepping back because I'm not fitting to work myself to the bone. I have a child. I have a young child depending on me. So I need business-minded people. Even if you never had a business and you're entrepreneurial and you have done enough of your research and enough of your work as far as product development, we can do workshops and that as well. But you have to be willing to take the information, and you can't sit there and watch and gobble up all the entertainment you see on YouTube when no one is showing you their process. No one is showing you their process. No one is giving you factual data. 90% of them out here in Tanzania don't have documents to do what you hear them say they're doing. So you got to be careful and watch yourself and watch your step, and be mindful about what you think is information, because sometimes it's just infotainment. Okay, so I got to go. I have a lot to get through today, but I have sent the email. I'm sorry, I put my email address here. Those of you who would like to contact me, those of you who would like to come to repatriation seminar, it's 11 a.m. today, Sunday, the 29th of October at 11 a.m. Eastern. I have part 4. I'm going to release part 4. However, on part 4, I'm going to request a donation for part 4 because I think I've spent the time to edit and put energy behind parts 1, 2, and 3. Part 4 is extremely important and useful and valuable. So I think I should release it that way, but I'm still completing the final stages of it. Okay, so go through this channel, look at all that you've seen me do. You haven't seen the whole thing because there's some videos when I was building this house that I have hidden those videos on purpose, right? But like I said, business-minded people, and again, those of you who have invested in the company, who have supported the company, who have supported us to get to us to where we need to be, we genuinely appreciate you. But what I need is I need a larger input at this point, where you have products, you have a facility by which you can sell your products, you have a facility, you have a products, you have a market, you have all of the documentation and the paperwork to push it out. Okay, I also have the opportunity to go public in the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange, so that I can raise funds, continue to raise funds to open the facilities. That in and of itself requires a financial input to get there. Again, I am one person. I have done an incredible amount of work, but I am not in the position to continue to put myself through that kind of trauma. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time. Bye-bye.